thank you for sitting down with me, Ellen.
It's always good to sit down with you, Mark, and have a chat.
You too. Now, we are here at the first in-person Seeds Canada meeting. It's been a long time for all of us. No traveling for the last couple of years for the most part. Anything special you did to prepare for this year's meeting?
Well, I went to ISF, so that maybe prepared me for, an in-person gathering for sure, because there was over 1,000 people there. So yeah, that was my first start, I think, at getting out and about.
We're over halfway through the meeting now. For you, what's been the biggest benefit of getting everyone together in one room as opposed to doing a Zoom call?
Multiple Zoom calls. So I think, the first night at the reception, people felt energy in the room to be back together, and you could hear the buzz of the conversation. And, it's just not the same trying to do a conversation on some deep topics virtually. So having them in the room, being able to hear what other people are saying, seeing even the body language of folks in the room to know how they feel and their comfort level on some things, I don't think you can replace that with a virtual conversation.
No, that's true. Something to be said for being in person.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, Seeds Canada unveiled, and I have to read this, it's a mouthful. Yesterday you unveiled your functional framework for a modern seed system. This is a proposal for seed regulatory modernization, proposing that a single and independent industry body be established reporting to the CFIA. It would institute a robust governance structure to maintain balanced representation, informed consensus-based decision-making, and transparency. Now, that's a major proposal. Can you kind of give us the 411 on how that might work?
Sure. So, as you said, it's a draft proposal. So really, it's just the skeleton of potentially what the system could look like. The thought process around it was to, what we learned from the Seed Summit, what we learned from talking to our own members and partners of that Seed Summit, was the need to, bring everybody into the room, the whole value chain, for discussion. And most of the progress we've made as an industry has been taking our partners along with us. So that was the goal behind the framework, to try and get everyone in the room and have those discussions and move forward. So again, a lot of the thoughts in that document are proposals for discussion amongst members, and we'll see where we go from here.
Yeah, there's lots to come out of it yet.
Lots to come out of it, yes. Yeah.
If it were to be put in place, what do you think the main benefit would be to that? How might it be potentially superior to the system we have now?
Well, the question is, what is the system we have now? So one might think, it's still split. We have, let's say, on variety registration, recommending committees that sort of operate on a different level or different time frame from others. So again, the thought of having everyone under one roof, I think it's a new model, actually, not replacing something that already exists. Lots of questions, as you know, on governance and how that would look and funding and whatnot, but really it would be a new way of doing things versus, I think, just replacing the old. So taking some of what we have now and combining it for one voice maybe moving forward.
Now, seed regulatory modernization is expected to wrap up in 2025, I believe. So we have some time yet. It's only 2022. For you, what's the biggest positive sign that things are on the right track?
Well, that's a very good question. We still are waiting for some of those task teams to finish their work. There's some changes coming out of those task teams, I think. The question would be, is it really that formative, large-scale change that I think we are hoping for and looking for? So that's maybe a little concern on my part is are we really, pulling that system apart and re-looking at it in a way that's really going to be formative. So positive that there has been some conversation and some changes come out of it, a little bit of concern how big it's going to be and how, that reforming of the whole regulatory framework.
Before I let you go, in terms of your career, in a few years you'll celebrate 3 decades with C&M Seeds.
You're not making me feel old, Mark, by the way.
That's a big milestone. And what's the biggest leadership lesson you learned in that time?
Sure. So I actually, the biggest leadership lesson I learned was probably even almost before that 30 years. And I read it in an article from someone I admire as well as a leader in the industry. And it said, hire smart people and surround yourself with smart people, and then let them do their thing and just try and guide them along the way. So I think that goes, here in Seeds Canada or anywhere really, is to let the people that you've engaged with around a table or within your own organization, and help them move forward as well to really be the leaders of tomorrow and help them guide you in what you're doing. So,
good advice. Thanks for sitting down with me.
Thank you, Mark. Always a pleasure.